I'm so jealous that you guys can do that because my pinky is shaking trying to do that.
Yeah, same. It's like the
No
fuck.
What the fuck?
The
Wow.
fuck?
Wow.
Do it again. Do it again. I'm definitely learning from you.
Hey, you guys, come back here.
Hey, diam lah.
In New York, I mainly rock.
Hi again. Welcome back to another episode of the Pintu Belakang Podcast / show, aka your mom's favorite YouTube channel.
Come on.
Round of applause, please, for me. Appreciate y'all. Alright, so as you can see, today we're joined by two new special people. We have, I'm gonna let y'all introduce
Big ups.
yourselves.
Hi guys, I'm Malin. I'm Pintu Belakang's animator / editor, whatever you want to call it. And I'm also apparently the only female member. But yeah.
And we're not against adding more. So
We're
any
not
of you who wanna audition, hit my line.
We got
Hi. Since up next, hi, I'm Aiman. I am the main editor for the Pintu Belakang team. Anything, mostly 90% of what you see and the visual wise, I produce. So, looking forward to produce more and quality content. Untuk
Big ups. Aiman was
Big ups,
the brain of the previous episodes. Banging
Yeah.
animation.
Medieval London.
Amazing.
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 And a man who was not involved in the second episode but was involved in the first one is Mr. Ton Firas, aka Publicity Director.
I know you guys miss me. You guys miss me, right? Both of you. Both of you.
Yes. We missed you a lot.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Whatever keeps you happy, man.
Whatever keeps you part of our team, we'll agree to it, no matter what. And you got us, the two normal cunts you see every day.
Come on.
So me and Irfan took time and chose these few people for this specific episode because we all went to school, didn't we? Or is there something you guys are not telling me?
No, I think we definitely went to school.
All of y'all went to school, right? Okay.
Yeah, I can say I can vouch.
So we are joined today by a vast and experienced and different types of people because one went to an all guys school. Or was it two? Did Wolf go to all guys school?
No.
He went to co-ed, yeah. We got one all boys school. We got two all boys schools here. We got Mr. Irfan and Mr. Firas.
Yes,
Come on.
sir.
We got someone who went to an all girls school. Definitely not me.
It might have been me.
Definitely Zaf and Irfan, definitely them.
It was most probably us. And then we got two people
Yeah.
who went to co-eds, which is me and Wolf. So
Yeah, I went to co-ed for a year. It
School.
was shit.
it was
shit.
cool as shit.
It was shit. Co-ed is shit.
So high school, the best of times, the worst of times. Everyone has their own stories about it, and that's why we have these beautiful, wonderful people here to share their experiences about it. Alright, so I'm gonna direct this question to Mr. Irfan because
Yes, sir.
he went to a co-ed school in high school and also a single gender school in high school. So I want to ask you, what do you think the difference is between a co-ed and a single gender in the high school time frame?
I'd say the major difference is the bond, because you're a lot more comfortable when there's only like one gender around you. Well, not to say more comfortable. I guess in your own personal perspective. But if you're in co-ed, there's a lot less I'd say conversations that can be put through compared to being in a single gender school, because when you're around, I mean, speaking for the boys, if you're around like all boys, you just know there's some crazy shit you're gonna bring up, right? And some illegal ass conversation.
Yes.
But
I can vouch.
but if you're in a co-ed school, you'd actually watch what you say, and it's not because of how different you act in front of girls and whatnot. It's just common decency, because you wouldn't be that naive. You wouldn't act that naive and act that blunt around someone who you feel like has that much of a shift when it comes to certain things being said.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone that went to both and experienced both, I'd say the most important part of both was communication is very varied. Communication is quite difficult, to say the least. When it comes to co-ed, you'll be when it comes to co-ed, it's usually sekolah harian,
Yeah.
and then you don't see them all the time, right? You'll
Yeah.
see them at school, and then that's it. And then you just can't be asked anymore. You just fucked off. But in single gender, a lot of it is boarding school. A lot of single gender schools are boarding schools.
Betul.
And when it comes to boarding schools, that brings all the difference up when compared to normal schools, right? Because you spend an all fucking day with them.
Yeah.
I spent 4 years in boarding school, an all boys boarding school, and I saw these fucking faces every single day. I woke up to these faces. I slept. The last face I saw before I slept was one of those faces as well. So you're essentially around them all the time, and it creates a different sense of comfort when it comes to conversation and when it comes to, I'd say, how is it? Building up yourself and your character. It's quite different, the upbringing when it comes to growing up around boys and girls and just boys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're just
So
more bold. You tend you
yeah,
can say
you
stuff
get more
you can never
ballsy.
say in front of girls.
Yeah, you
when
get
you're a guy.
ballsy because as a guy, you're definitely scared shitless to say weird shit in front of girls because you don't want them to think you're some fucking creep, right? Because apparently nowadays that's the easiest fucking thing to do to make girls think you're a creep. But from I can't speak on single gender schools when it comes to girls, so I'll let Amalin take that.
So like Irfan was saying, the difference between single gender and co-ed. I went to co-ed in primary, but I'm pretty sure like everyone went to co-ed in primary. And in secondary, I went to an all-girls school, but the only difference is that it's a sekolah harian. So I balik rumah lah. I tak tidur sekali dengan diorang asrama semua. For me, macam Irfan cakap, the bond, and you're more comfortable and it feels more safer because there are no guys. I'd say in a way, the biggest threat in primary school for me when I went to co-op was the guys. The guys that
Everyone's
were
just being
brutal,
fucking demolished. Everyone.
yeah, but in an all-girls school, I felt a bit more safer and lagi selesa lah. For example, let's say one of us is on our period, we can just shout at anyone in the hall, be like, "Hey, do you guys have a pet?" And like without getting made fun of by any guys, because got made fun of a lot of times in primary school for like asking for a pet from cikgu. And when it's in an all-girls school, you can just comfortably ask without having to hide, and that's what's good for me lah. And the rest of us in an all-girls school is like useless, and it's like I wouldn't say it's more peaceful, but I'd say most of us girls are more of ourselves because there's no guys. Because there's always that thing where like, for example, guys are careful with what they say in front of girls because takut salah cakap kan. So
Yeah.
macam kita perempuan, like there are times where we are scared to act a certain way in front of guys because we don't want guys to think we're weird or ugly or like whatsoever, all that shit. But yeah, same thing, like lebih kurang same thing like your friend. But
Yeah, I mean, you can tell going to an all girls and all boys, it was kind of the same, but it wasn't really the same. Proven by those two statements those two guys made lah. So, I went to a co-ed school, and so did Aiman. I want to know what his experience was like before I tell mine. So, Aiman, how was it like going to?
My experience personally, I don't really have nothing to say because I don't have any other experience like you guys, single, single gender school. But honestly, when I say the communications were fine for me because ever since in Darjah Satu, I've been in the co-ed school. My communications with other people, with the other genders was okay lah. I grew up with nak jaga mulut and all, so I can't really say. And the bond for me, it's all normal. All the guys seems to like mix together with the boys. with the girls in the form of gurauan, it uh people seem to don't really hold back because can apa we're comfortable with each other.
I cannot relate. The girls hated the boys at my school, but that's okay. So Ton, you are in the same situation as Armalin kan? You went to an all guys school, but sekolah harian, bukan asrama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how was it like there?
Okay, so basically, like I was saying, situation wise, it's just like Irfan. You don't have a limit to saying things like. But during my time of school, I was introverted. I was not like this, like ever.
I see.
Like after getting after school, then I became more extroverted, and I don't do much things at school. So basically, it's the same with Irfan's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you didn't do much at school. You were the quiet kid, you would say. Like, kau duduk diam,
Yeah.
you buat kerja cikgu and all that shit lah.
The mysterious Donny.
Buat kerja sekolah.
Buat kerja sekolah. Good lah. Did you participate yourself in school? I mean, like, because why you would say you were introverted and like it was normal and boring for you? Maybe it was because you didn't participate in anything. Like, why you into? Were any of you guys into sports? Ke? Heavily in clubs or communities or anything? Why any of
Yeah,
you guys
I was in
I was
in
Yeah, same
sports,
here.
mostly sports. But I feel like as a guy that's not really out there,
Yeah.
because everyone did it, and if you didn't, you were just lame.
Lame and lazy.
I was in a high performance school, SBT. Bukan nak brag I just cakap memang
Boleh.
title tu high performance all girls school. So we are expected to balance academic and Coco as well. So for our co-curricular, if we tak active, then we kena panggil and we'll be asked to like join something, because dia nak jaga the school punya rep and the school punya macam pointer lah. So kita punya pencapaian tu kena at least decent lah. That's like
Yeah.
for Coco
Okay.
pun semua macam academic ada A and B. So I would say I had academic wise, to be honest, tak adalah bagus sangat sebab susah jugalah nak catch up kalau academic wise. A C pun boleh kira as a fail in my school. So I was honestly academic wise I'm not that great, but Coco tu actually I was decent lah. I joined a decent amount of things. I participated in sports and also Pandu Putri and all that. So yeah, I was quite okay lah, decent lah.
Mm-hmm.
So, rallying off what Amalie said, she mentioned that there needed to be a balance. There was an expectation to have balance between activities and academics, right?
Yeah.
So there's this one situation where a few of my friends, a few of my teammates, this was back in Form 3, they got the opportunity to train for district and state. So district and then onwards state and national lah and
Bola.
whatnot, right? For football.
Uh-huh.
So they're held by these like Majlis Daerah kan. So they were held by MSSD, MSSP and all that stuff, right? And they had these organizations for it. So these organizations would set the dates. Macam, yearly it would usually be the same date, right? It would usually be around the same time for every year, for every batch. So they would get like the same kind of opportunity, right? So my school was similar to Amalin school. We had this like high performance type shit, right? And then they had all these like bullshit expectations on everyone to be like robots or something.
Uh-huh.
And then a few of my mates had the opportunity to train for district, but it was so close to PT3 trials. Yeah, our headmaster didn't let them go because it was close to exams and he wanted them to focus. So what I'm implying here is, to what extent do you think the balance should be surveyed in context where they would say, oh, you're neglecting this, you're neglecting one side, but really it's not your fault,
Yeah.
It's out of your control in the first place.
Faham.
So I'll ask Zaf, to what extent do you think the balance comes to play when you're trying to figure out your future, I guess, which one you're leaning towards, or what activities that will build yourself?
mean, the boring answer would be passion, though. What are you more passionate about,
Yeah.
studies or sports? But if I'm being honest, I honestly think if you put 50-50 into both of them, you can pursue both of them, actually, though. It's not
Yeah.
like I understand the PT3 not being able to go for selection because of PT3, that's a bit of a cock block.
Mhm.
Tapi, yeah, I mean, what can you do? It's not anyone's
Exactly.
fault that the selection is doing PT3, and it's not anyone's fault you guys are 15 at the time. That's just
Yeah.
tak ada rezeki in that whole situation. It wasn't rezeki korang. But
Mhm.
50-50 I think can work though.
Yeah,
Like-
it's not like there's no educated sportsmen, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the athletes in Malaysia did not perform well in school lah. But
Yeah.
still, I know some smart athletes such as myself. I play basketball for college, and I'm kind of smart myself.
Oh my
But yeah, I
god.
mean,
Okay.
The
But-
self
okay.
the self plug of dreams.
so that, but what I'm saying is that if I can do it, I'm pretty sure people can do it better than me. You know, I can balance both of it out, and I'm
It's a
doing
good
fine.
standpoint.
So, to answer your question, just balance it out. Really balance it out the best
Find
you can.
your own balance, right?
Betul?
Yeah.
You know
If
what's
you
wrong, what's
if
right.
you feel if you feel like you work more as a 70-30 person,
Then
then
go 70-30 lah.
yeah.
If it works for you,
It
it does.
depends on how you are lah. Macam how far can you take it, you know? Like go on your own pace. You don't need to go on other people's pace. Like what I don't like about schools, specifically high performance schools, is that sometimes they will push you like over your limit. You know, they will
Over,
expect you to
well
go
over.
over your limit. Like it's quite frustrating lah. I'd say it's kesian dekat students ah. Honestly.
Yeah, you would say that it's because they have expectations to be met, but I don't think it's necessary to put that amount of pressure. You know, I think the same result can be produced without without the pressure that they put on.
Exactly.
Betul. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Understandably, you masuk a high performance school tu memang you tahulah like memang akan ada expectations that you have to reach, but berpada-pada lah. So kita ni bukan robot. We're not robots. We're human beings. We need rest. We need all of this. Like during my time, it wasn't COVID yet. During high school, so we were active. I was at school like for more than half of the year. I would go to school from I tolak 5:30 lah 6:45 sampai sekolah. Lepas tu balik dalam pukul 5-6 macam tu. Because of Coco.
5:30?
Yeah, because dulu I duduk jauh. Tapi also sebab jam lah. PJ kan jam. So kena pergi
Imagine.
awal lah.
5:30, damn hours. Then balik at 5
Okay,
Yeah.
p.m.
this brings me to another viewpoint, which I would say, what do you guys think on people who live more than half an hour away from the school?
Find a new school, man. Sumpah, it's gonna be exhausting having to wake up.
It is. Really
Don't you
is.
think? Because I know bare men who used to like leave their houses 50 minutes early, an hour, more than an hour early, just so they could get to school right before the bell.
Mhm.
And I think that's mad for you to actually have an additional struggle that heavy just to get to school.
It's
Yeah.
tiring. I lived at Shah Alam and my school was at PJ, so two different cities. So when I lived at Shah Alam, I had to bertolak lepas subuh tu terus bertolak. So imagine how tiring that is. Lepas tu kalau balik petang tu memang jam sangat. And it was tiring lah, but it wasn't my choice. It was my parents' choice. My parents yang nak hantar I sekolah tu, so I kena ikut lah. If diorang sanggup, you know, pay all the gas money to send me back and forth, then then I can't do anything about it. But there was a point where we had to rent a house here in PJ because it was too tiring for them. For them, because I had two other sisters that went to, my sister went to my school and a little sister who goes to another school in PJ as well, because sekolah dekat situ tak ada yang bagus lah for them. So they want us to go to a good school, get access to good education, so they were willing to sacrifice all of that. They were willing to pay for another house so that kita orang lagi selesa and kita orang tak penat, and dia orang pun tak penat.
I guess you could say snowballing onwards from what Amalin said about her parents deciding that Sri Aman was the perfect school for her. I believe a certain man in this call has struggled with what he's passionate about and also what his parents have been piling onto him to study. Aiman?
My god, don't know where to start though. Like for fuck's sake, my mom's in the kitchen. So I don't really want to spill that much.
Okay. Here's what I have to ask you, man.
Mhm.
Based on the differences of your parents' choices to yours, how heavily do you think it's affected your path to whatever passion you're seeking?
It's very hard for me to proceed what I love because, what I'm passionate doing is art, visual wise, anything that has to do with art. And to my dad is an engineer, so it affected me more emotionally and performance wise. We had that feud. We had that talk about arguing whether I want to pursue doing fine art or engineering, and it honestly, I just can't do anything about it because he's paying all of the intuition, he's paying all the, in a sense, he's just providing everything. So in my part, I just can ikut je lah.
You can't really complain now when all of
Yeah,
that's
I can.
happening.
Yeah, exactly. I can't
Mhm.
really say anything. I can't complain. But in the sense of right now, what I'm doing right now is engineering. I'm taking civil engineering. At the side part, I'm doing something that could fill up my passion. Probably I'm opening. I'm doing editing for Pintu Belakang,
Yes.
and
Come
then I'm
on.
doing I do arts here and there to not lose touch of what I can do or what I would love to. So yeah, that affected me a lot emotionally, physically.
I understand. Tapi yelah, I mean, there are things in life sometimes. Come on, we belong to a certain race of a certain country. Sometimes we can't really talk to our parents like that. They won't really understand no matter how many times you say it.
Exactly. Exactly.
When it comes
That's true.
to the conservative mindset that all parents partially possess, there's a certain part of them that wants us to do what they want, and they'll
Yeah.
always live with them because it's them as a person, and it will be us as parents as well.
Yeah.
We'll obviously have like an insight on what we want our kids to be like, right?
Betul?
Mhm.
And they will
Yeah.
always have that insight to be their own person, which is gonna be an ongoing cycle.
Mhm.
Sampai
So
lah the
there's
world
not
ends.
You do.
there's
You
not
do.
much you can do about it because it's conflict of interest against, I guess you could say, sentimental
Yeah.
things.
I see.
Betul?
It's conflict of interest, and you're mixing it with emotional shit. It just doesn't end well, and it never will end, anyways. So, in the sense that if you were one of the unlucky unlucky donnies like us that were born here, then fair man, you can't do anything about it. We just gotta live it through until you
Yeah.
reach a certain
That's
point in time
true.
where you make your own decisions.
Uh-huh. For me, my parents are very my mom and my dad especially. He's very supportive of what I want to do. Mostly because it's similar to what he's doing. So macam lucky lah sebab coincidence kah apa yang I buat tu memang benda yang dia buat juga, like graphics, animation, and all that. He does that for a living. So he's very happy that I'm doing it. He's loving it. He also keeps telling me, make your hobby into your career, and that's how you become
Live a happy
happy.
life.
You live a
Yeah.
happy life, like my dad's doing that. He's doing his hobby as his career, and he wants me to do that too. I'd say what I'm doing, some of it is my hobby, some of it isn't. Like I do illustration and like graphic design and all that for my course, and I'm quite happy actually. Alhamdulillah. Tapi ada some tu I terpaksa ambil because it comes with the course, and it's a bit tough when you tak minat. So I can partially understand Aiman's struggle. Bila you tak minat benda tu, susah jugalah you nak letak effort tu, you nak ada passion. But yeah, I guess that's how it is with like Asian parents.
Yeah.
They want you to
Yeah, there's
become
that
what
there's
you
that
become.
saying there's that saying that relates to what Amani said. It's turn your passion into income and never work a day in your life ever again.
Yep.
Mhm.
Betul.
Yeah.
That one.
Mhm.
Big
I mean,
facts.
My parents, they just support me no matter what I do. Sometimes it's okay, I guess. No complaints here.
Well, for my parents, because my mom wants me to follow in my dad's footsteps, which is in the military. Do I look like a military person to you guys?
Me, you never know.
And then my dad wants me to be to pursue in law, and I'm here like, and I don't
Law
know
or
what to do
soldier?
now.
So
Law
so
or
what are you
Yeah.
what are you
Law.
interested in?
I don't know. That's the thing.
What are you
I
taking
mean,
now?
You
yes,
haven't
I
figured
did.
it out. You haven't figured it out?
But yeah, but it's likely law lah kot, because I don't have the physical attributes to be a soldier, I think.
I mean, shit can change.
Yeah, actually, if you work
You're
You
for
watched
goalkeeper.
Captain America, didn't you?
Super Soldier Zero.
You see how scrawny Chris Evans was.
yeah.
So like yeah, regarding back to what Aiman said on how, when you want to do something but your parents don't really support it, it's obviously going to affect you mentally. And when it affects you mentally, it's going to affect a lot of your studies. So how are you going to get what they want when they themselves are not helping you get what you want? You understand
That's
what I'm trying to
true.
say here? Like,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
big circle. You tell them what they want to do, they don't want you to do that, tell you to do another thing, it affects your mental, and then it repeats, and repeats, and repeats. And obviously, when your mental is not in the right state, you're gonna go to school or college and not perform well, or maybe
Because you're not happy.
perform
You're not
better.
enjoying
exactly.
yourself.
You might perform better because you just want what your parents want, and when you're performing better, you're too focused on books. You don't have a social life.
Betul.
And when you don't have a social life, you are going to absolutely be deemed
Yeah.
not popular. And comes the topic popularity amongst your peers. So, I don't know about y'all. When I went to school, there was definitely a status amongst the peers. You had like the kids yang no one are really friends with, the kids yang people know but not rapat, and you have like the cool kids yang semua nak kenal,
Yeah.
semua nak rapat.
Yeah.
Personally, I was in the rempit popular group. I don't know why I was in there, but I was in there. But yeah, I went to high school pretty nicely lah. But I left them all back in high school. I'm not friends with them anymore. Yeah, what was it like in an all-girls school, Malin?
Oh, obviously we have it. You have that hierarchy when it comes to popularity. Akan ada punya. I was in like the popular group for a short period of time, but throughout high school, people did know me, but I know a lot of people disliked me because I was a bitch. Let's be honest. I was a bitch. I was annoying, and I totally understand why they disliked me. And I was also kind of mean. There was a point I had a mean girls moment in high school. I'm not gonna go in depth, but I had a mean girls moment. It was crazy. It's fucking hilarious.
You
but
had a
it
burn
did,
book?
not a burn book, but we did have.
Damn it.
I'd spill some secrets. We did have like a secret account for like our group where we post stuff,
Mad.
kind of like a burn book, but macam apa tu, the new generation kind of burn book Instagram accounts, but it was private, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It did affect me and a few other people mentally lah. Honestly, I'd say it did affect us mentally. But when it comes to popularity, some people deserve it because some people are generally nice and memang baik gila, so they deserve the popularity. Some of them did it, but I guess macam I can't say much about that. It's how society works. They're very biased. Dia akan siapa yang dia suka, dia akan suka, and doesn't matter how they are, because to their eyes, orang tu macam memang they put that person on the pedestal. So you can't say much about it, But yeah, it did affect me mentally, but it's alright. It's okay. I'm good now.
Glad to hear that.
Well, Malin, we're glad you pulled through, but I know from personal experience, there are people who feel like they are a lot higher on that hierarchy scale, that stereotypical, popularity pyramid. And some people, there are a certain breed that believe in it so much and are so invested in it that they go beyond the point that they actually put themselves a bit higher than they actually deserve to be, and they hold on to this context in a way that their personality shifts, and they will also carry themselves in a different way because they will think that they were sort of better than everyone else. And I feel like Aiman shoot.
I feel like these people can back in my school, my god, I don't know what to say though. It's the amount of people that were invested in this high pedestal then. More than 100, I can't really say the numbers, but it was a shit ton of people. They were chasing clouds, they were putting they were putting themselves on a pedestal where they're better than everyone.
Exactly.
Like and it's
Just
funny.
this Hollywood mindset.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
this
god, yeah.
Hollywood mindset of okay, honestly, to these people that put themselves on a pedestal, thinking they're better than everyone else, it's ridiculous. You know, you're at the same level as everyone. You're not this shit. You're not this shit. Stop.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
stop
doesn't
doing
matter.
it.
It doesn't matter as much as you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Especially people that peak in high school. Fuck's sake, bro.
Stop.
You're
They,
putting
they
Get some
never
help.
let go.
Yeah, stop. Get some help. You're putting that much effort. You know, you're putting your time and effort. Kissing asses. You know, kissing asses around just to have that 1 year of fame. It's funny now. Like the people that like peak in high school, after school, damn. Like, who you now?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my. That statement. You thought you were fucking badass in high school. So kau lah paling gangster. Kau lah pukul
Yeah.
budak. Sekarang kau
Exactly.
buat apa?
Mhm.
Where are
It's
you?
like,
I
where are
mean,
you? I don't
where's that
see.
Eh,
pedestal?
I don't see you
Where's that
posting
fucking
stories in
pedestal?
universities. Like, what you doing now?
Yeah.
Like, there's
When you
one
go
more
out
thing
in the
that
real life, it's different. It's all different. Like high school is just like high school. If I were to be honest, I kind of had the mindset of like the people Aiman was talking shit about. I low key like when I was in form 4, form 5, form 4 lah. Macam I was kissing asses low key. I toned down my bitchiness just to be liked because I was so sick of being disliked, and that was the dumbest decision ever. I wish I could turn back time, but honestly, at least I learned something from it. And a lot of people were like me as well. And talking from personal experience, I think when you get out from high school, when you kerja and you pergi uni, you akan tengok that all of that does not matter anymore. Memang takkan matter pun. And that's when you slowly start to grow out of that mindset and you start to become a better person. You start to you start to develop a bit better lah, I say.
shout
Like,
out to people that didn't even move on from high school.
Yeah.
I can't even
Please get
know
help.
like a
Yeah,
couple
I
people
know
that
people like that.
yeah, exactly.
Get
You're
help.
not in the
Yeah.
right mind. Your head is still in high school.
you know.
Fuck's sake, move on.
Especially the ones our age. Like, that shit was 2 years ago, bro. Let it
Yeah,
go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
2 years ago.
Fuck's sake, just let it
Imagine.
go.
is there nothing else more exciting that happened after high school for you to still talk about high school?
Yeah, you talking.
Exactly.
Every
That's
time
kind of
we get
funny.
together, it's just like, going out, time class ni, time class ni. No.
No, that's fine.
Tak ingat.
That's fine. For me, that's fine. But for them to actually relive everything and still be in that mindset, that's a problem.
Wow.
To
And bring
reminisce,
back.
I think it's not a problem. But
Mhm.
it's like a once in a while thing, lah, kan? You still have current issues that you have to deal with in your life. But these men don't have shit going on.
You
They're
know,
just stuck there.
they don't
They're
move
just
on.
stuck in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Move
What's
on.
funny to me, I have this one story, this one situation which kind of proves something. So I had a lot of beef with people in high school. I'm not proud of it. It was stupid, but again, we were kids, we didn't know better. And this one girl was assumed. We were 18 at the time, dah graduate dah, masa tu I dah kerja. I was working in retail, and then she posted a story saying that, oh, I can't believe you would like spread shit about me, blah blah blah, spread me doing this and that. Dah lah kau begini hari tu and all that. And I saw that story, someone sent it to me, and I asked her, what's up, what's wrong? And she was like, oh no, I asked that person who said you were the one who did it, but then they said it was just so high school. She was like, oh, but then that person said she was not sure it was you. And I was like, then why would you believe it? Why would you post stories like that? And she was like, I don't know, because back in Form 3 we had beef.
Back in
2017.
2017,
Dude. Like,
4 years ago.
This is not high school. And I was like, girl, this isn't high school. It kind of made me a bit sad. Like, oh, does she think like I'm that bad? Does she really think I'm not capable of change? But you know what? Benda tu macam benda kecil lah. But it's one great example of how people still live in
Can't
the
move
high
on.
school kind of timeline. Yeah.
Keyword, back in Form 3. Keyword.
Yeah. Back in Form 3,
Back in
we had beef like.
He was
Crazy.
spreading shit, I know about another story that involves shit lah, but
No. Oh my god.
Okay, so for context, Armalin has a quite unique story That just reeks of fascination, doesn't it?
To everyone watching this, to everyone in that situation at that time, to the person I'm talking about right now, I'm so sorry. You're probably a good guy now. But yeah, I'm just gonna tell this for experience. When I was in primary school, I was in a co-ed school, and I got bullied a lot because I was annoying and ugly. Annoying and ugly. So those two don't work together. Memang mangsa lah, jadi mangsa. And also I couldn't speak a BM for a few years. I was pretty bad at it, but that wasn't really the case. It was just I was ugly and annoying. I liked this guy. You know, we all have our cinta monyet school crushes, and this group of girls, they knew that I liked that guy. I was quite annoying to that guy sebab you know how you like that person tapi kadang you just gaduh with them just because you like them. I was in that situation, and those girls knew I liked them, so they gave me a piece of paper, an empty piece of paper, and they asked me, "Oh, can you sign this?" And I didn't know anything. I didn't know better. I signed it. They apparently wrote a surat cinta, apparently kononnya from me to him, and then they gave it to him.
That is genius.
Yeah, and I was dumb. So kind of on me, but the next part is not on me. That's just brutal. But they gave it to him. He went crazy. He was mad. He wrote Barbie all over it, and he gave it back to me. And I was like, okay. And then a few days after that, I went to recess. I brought my pencil box because my pencil box, someone threatened to steal it because my pencil box was expensive, and I brought it everywhere like a fucking handbag to even to recess. And I came back, my bag was empty, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then the whole school searched for it. It was me and another guy's bag, but I'm just gonna tell like my story. We were searching all over, and the guy that I liked, let's call him Abu. So Abu and his friend was like looking for it lah, and he came back with the books full of shit and pee on it, and he put it on the chair, and there were like pictures lah. Even teachers went to the toilet first with him, and like they saw it in a toilet bowl full of shit, full of pee, and they took picture of it. It was in the men's toilet, you know, it was in the boys' toilet, by the way. And then he brought it back with his friend, and he was like, buku Malin ada tai and all that stuff. And I wasn't really sad because it wasn't my pencil box. If it was my pencil box, he wouldn't be alive right now. But it was my book, so kalau buku hooray lah kan. And obviously my parents knew about it. How can someone shit my books and my parents not know about it? Obviously my parents know about it. That was the last straw for my parents because I got bullied so much in that school at that time. Like, I got physically bullied, dude. I got pushed down the stairs before, but that was the limit. Like, imagine someone shitting on your kids' books.
Okay.
I cannot.
Buku agama. Buku pendidikan Islam.
They were Arab and agama books. Stop laughing. It's so hard for me to tell the story.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's unimaginably bad.
Yeah,
Bukan
it's
berak je tau.
unimaginable.
Berak dengan kencing dia bagi combo mat.
Sekali. Dia bagi double whammy.
It was fucking double homicide, dude. And so no one wanted to come forward. So we buat solat hajat. My parents demanded for the pengetua to cari siapa yang buat. So we semua buat solat hajat. The whole school buat solat hajat.
Cari dalam kau.
Orang solat hajat PT3 SPM. Dia solat hajat UPSR kan. Dia solat hajat cari orang.
Wait. This is so hard to tell because it's so funny. And believe it or not, there was a point in my life where I forgot about it and I didn't remember it because my mom reminded me and I was like, wait, shit, someone shat in my books in like primary school. How could I forget about that? But yeah, apparently 2 weeks after Abu and the kid did not come to school, he came forward to the pengetua and we were called up and he had to like apologize and all that. Macam tak ikhlas lah masa tu, I remember. You know, terpaksa like a budak. Yeah, it was brutal. My dad was done for it. My mom and my dad was like, you need to find who shat on my kid's book right now. This is the last straw. My cat has been bullied so much in this school. And I had no other choice because that was the only primary school in that area. So we had to go, if I were to go to another school, I had to go to another city. So that was hard on my parents because both of them were working. So there was no choice.
But yeah, it was settled. They called the kids' parents. I tak tahu apa lagi dia kena, but probably kena pukul kot kat parents dia, harap-harap lah, I tak tahu. But yeah, it's a bizarre story. When I tell it to people, people are like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm just laughing about it because I think it's fucking funny. It's fucking hilarious. It did take a mental toll on me because he probably thought I was ugly. That's a kind of like, like, oh shit, am I that ugly? But like, it's funny. It's a
So it's like, oh shit, this chick's ugly as fuck. I'm gonna shit on her book.
yeah, imagine that. Like, can
Violations,
kind of take a mental toll on you though. But again, it's a funny story. It's a great conversation starter. I'd like to thank this guy. Like, if you're here, if you're watching, thank you so much for shitting on my books because this is so funny. It's making people laugh. Don't do it again. Don't shit my books again. I don't want to go
Maybe
through
he
that.
does again.
Don't do it again.
He just finds where you live and shits on your life.
Funny thing, he did apologize to me a few years after. He did apologize specifically for shitting on my books. He was just like, hey, I'm so sorry for being a dick to you. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. Benda dah lepas. Probably masa tu you budak. Tapi budak pun macam, kenapa nak berat muka kan? Tapi tak apalah. Tak apalah. Kita we just let it go. It's a great conversation starter. It makes people laugh. You know what? It's fine. I can put my trauma aside for that. It's humor. It's so unbelievably funny. Like, it's so I did it. I thought it was normal tau. When I went to high school, I was expected to get bullied. And then like I told my mom, I was like, oh, I did get bullied in high school. It's pretty fine. It's just like minor stuff. And my mom was like, yeah lah, takkanlah kau nak expect budak berak atau kau kot masa high school. But
Yeah. When it comes to, I mean, let's say when it comes to bullying, there's like certain levels to it, right? And like vast different experiences when it comes to bullying. And some people get shit in the books, some people get punched in the stomach. We won't disclose which, but
Yeah, some people get locked in the back of the class and get called an animal.
yeah. But who's talking, right? Who's
talking?
talking? So when it comes to bullying, I like to. I think I'm interested in another perspective from an all boys. What Tun, what do you think of? How bad was bullying for you?
Oh, I got bullied during primary school. Standard 6.
Oh,
UPSR
shit.
year.
Wait. When you were in primary, were you in all boys as well?
No, I was in a co-ed school.
Oh, okay.
But that was in Penang, like a few years ago.
Oh.
So basically, when I got bullied during Standard 6, I got a flying kick to the back of my spine. No, like legit.
Jesus Christ.
I went down, eating fucking mud. because baru lepas hujan tau. It was such a shit day for me.
You see,
budak jadam nangis.
Tun, that's what you fucking get for not participating and being the quiet kid. Fuck you.
God.
No, then obviously lah, I told my mom semua. Then counsellor blah 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 blah. Counsellor pun tak function macam biasa. Dia pun
Always.
apa lagi.
Oi. Hilang.
Okay, so basically, dari apa, lepas dah settle tu, then the kids started peli-peli semua. Then I called my parents semua. Macam babi kan. Then when after a few years, time form 4 tu, I got the request from IG tau. Then it was one of my bullies. So basically, he grew up, he became a rimpet. I did not, but that's another story. So basically, during high school, I didn't get bullied. That was a relief because I was friends with everyone, even the bullies. I was friends with bullies. So that's a plus. But my classmates, on the other hand, they got bullied. Even by me, but only...
Wow. Upgrade lah.
That's another story. Yeah, but not that teruk lah. But yeah, my take on bullying physically and mentally is not that... I won't recommend it.
Yeah.
Just don't bully. It's such a
Bullying
bad
is
It's a
bad.
waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Stop
it's a waste of
bullying.
time, especially after you finish school. Then you realize what you've done to the kid. And you be
Yeah.
like,
And
what the
there's
fuck
no way to
Yeah.
redeem yourself.
yeah, exactly.
Betul. Sebab malu je.
Because
God.
okay, personally, my take on bullying, I was bullied a lot but it didn't. I don't think it would count as bullying because I held a position where I was supposed to be deemed responsible for my batch's wrongdoings. So you would say macam they gave me this like false responsibility, but I withheld it. I mean, I tried my best to withhold it, but in the end, I still suffered from the consequences because it was impossible. But you know, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like kalau asrama, you would know macam senior panggil malam-malam and stuff
Nak
like
kena
that.
pukul
This
lah
is
tu.
just
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
shit, and normal shit, and
Yeah, yeah.
you would know lah. But yeah, I think I had it really bad in like Form 3. Because Form 3, I think I remember the longest we ever got fucking smacked was from like 10 p.m. to fucking like 3:30.
What?
I got battered, yeah, all the way. Like bully tu tukar shift.
Oh wow.
So
Punish you.
Damn.
I had
Babat
like 3
teruk
episodes. I had 3 episodes. So
Wow.
first episode was like 3 people. Dia tak puas hati apa benda lah. Adalah certain macam
Yeah,
reasons
yeah.
kan. And then after that, then there came like another set, and then they were unhappy about another reason. And then it was just like their batch
Yeah,
putting shit on me because my batch did shit up. So it's like a different concept, but it's still in a sense bullying, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm being
Uh-huh.
inflicted pain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pain is being inflicted on me for something I did not do.
Yeah.
You know,
Faham?
because I was never the main reason for being, getting
Bullied.
battered by seniors.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
always someone else.
Mm.
It was always
Yeah, yeah.
because of someone else.
You get the blame.
Then you get the blame, and then you have to withhold it, whatever. Fair enough. That's asrama for you, right?
Yeah.
So when we got to Form 4, I talked to a few of my mates that macam we were responsible for this kind of shit, this like shady shit, and how much of it goes down when the school is under our control, right?
Yeah.
So once the Form 5s are busy with SPM, the Form 4s are in charge of everything.
Uh-huh.
So at that point in time, we were in charge of juniors, we were in charge of like school events and everything. So it was a quite a shift from just being a innocent bystander, just like watching everything, just a viewer again. And then when you get to that stage where you actually have to lead shit and you actually have to get shit done, that is when it takes a toll. Because out of people that got bullied, there's two outcomes. There's people who want to bully back, and there's people who know it's wrong. There's people who realize it's wrong and actually put an attempt to stop it. And I was lucky enough to be surrounded by people that supported the idea of it's useless and it's just bullshit and you're not gonna fucking gain anything from it. There's
Yeah.
temporary satisfaction in beating up some helpless kid, but where does that get you? And there's always that lame saying that teachers say, oh, jangan bully sebab nanti mana kau tahu junior tu jadi boss kau kan.
Uh-huh.
But it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Not in the literal sense that there's the chance you will work for someone you bullied. That's a very slim possibility lah, realistically. But it's in a sense where you would see it as you don't inflict useless or macam you don't inflict pointless energy towards someone,
Yeah.
pointless negative energy towards
Yeah.
someone, just for the sake of your temporary satisfaction.
Mm.
Just for that joy of senior year and feeling like in charge,
Yeah, don't
Uh,
take advantage of your position lah,
Betul?
Exactly. If you are blessed enough to have the ability to hold a certain position where you're in charge and you can determine what is being done, then I feel like you should have the initiative in yourself to believe and actually implement what is right and what is wrong. Because if you have the power and you have the right mindset to fix things, it can be fixed. You just need to put a little work into it, get some people behind you, and then it will be stopped. Because when we were in Form 4, there was certain instances where we had juniors called up, but it was like it wasn't petty, it wasn't petty. It wasn't some dumb shit like, oh, ada budak batch kau minta tolong budak batch aku angkat barang untuk orkestra. Kau bodoh ke? Dia minta tolong kan? Kau tak nak tolong,
Betul.
suka hati lah. Buat apa nak pukul sebab dia minta tolong bangang.
Exactly. It's really petty.
So it's like it's not they weren't absurd reasons they were actually logical reasons because kita orang ada we ada call up a few juniors yang kantoi fly,
Hmm.
ada yang kantoi like pergi CC masa solat Jumaat.
Itu biasa
Lepas tu-
tu kat sini.
Macam-macam lah. Lepas tu ada lah junior yang buat hal betul-betul buat hal with the school baru kita orang panggil lah. I think that sets apart what was inflicted. It sets apart what you receive from how if you were bullied and how you portray it to other people and how you took it. Because if you bully back, then that just
That
means
makes
you're
you know
weak.
better. It makes you know
Yeah,
better.
Yeah.
it makes
You're
you
just the same
it
as
makes-
them.
Yeah, you just took you get bullied and then you're like, oh fuck these seniors, they're useless. All they do is fucking bully me for no fucking reason. And then you become that senior. What the fuck was the point of going off at them?
Exactly.
Because you're going off at yourself, ne?
Yeah, and
You
then
hate
you're just
yourself.
becoming
And you
what
hate
you
yourself.
fucking said you hate. Exactly.
I don't know,
There's
man.
no point.
Because throughout high school, I was a really fat kid. You can ask Tun. Like, from far, aku betul gemuk
Yeah,
Like, I was
It was way bigger than
I
this.
was wham, fam.
Yeah.
I was wham. So, and then, you know, being fat shamed, body shamed and stuff, and by my own people who I thought were my friends, tu dah biasa lah. But I got triggered at it at first, and then at the end of the day, I just realised, oh, it's okay lah, ni biasa kot. I think this is how friends joke with each other. They probably make fun of you for being fat and shit. I don't know. I was being lied. I was being brainwashed. And then once I finished high school, I was like, tak patut doh. Dia orang panggil aku gemuk itu tak patut doh. That's not right, man. But yeah lah. No, I left them in the past. I only keep up with a few of them who are like actually decent to me. So now I'm good. I'm doing good. Got better friends, better environment, better circle, happier life.
That's good.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I was bullied by my own group of friends, which probably meant I was hanging around with the wrong group of friends lah. Because a proper group of friends is not supposed to bully you. So yeah, I changed myself to be friends with them, just to later find out I did not want to be them. They were inferior, as Irfan would say. So yeah, I did not like changing myself just to be part of a cool kid group and to be underappreciated. Just because I wanted the name to be like, oh, he's part of that kid's group. The nama lah, the popular kids. He's part of blah blah blah's group. He's part of Abu's group. Stuff like that, you know. So I want to know, there's so many
How
perspectives.
the
to go
fuck
into.
did Abu get popular after shitting on the books?
Just examples lah. But yeah, I want to know because we have so many perspectives to go on to here. We got male boarding, all guys. We got all guys harian. We got all girls harian, and we have another co-ed brother on the bottom right. So can I get Irfan's take on this?
I think through my personal experience, cliques were a big issue during the early stages, the early years when you're still trying to get to know all your batchmates and whatnot, right? In Form 1 and Form 2, where you're still getting familiar with all these people that you're going to be living with for the next 4 or 5 years. And it was very unsettling to certain people where they would see like, oh, these guys only hang around with these certain men and these guys only hang around with these type of people. So it didn't sit right with them because during Form 1 and like during your introduction into boarding school, you were all about like, oh, there's this batch bond, there's this bond, you guys have like a brotherhood that you cannot putuskan, and then they felt like separating into these small groups and like separating from each other as a whole unit was like wrong to them. But you were just finding your niche, you were just finding people with similar interests, you were just finding friends, that's all.
Betul.
So because
Sama naik,
when you were
yeah.
introduced into the school, it wasn't a choice around the people that you were around. Having the people you were around because you were sorted into dorms and whatnot, right? So it wasn't your choice.
Yeah.
But when it came to Form 2, you had a little bit more freedom. And then people were getting to find their own jive, finding their own crowd, trying to get familiar with everyone around them. So I don't see why people saw it as a negative thing. I personally don't think it's a negative thing. I think finding a group of people that have the same interests and you can actually chit chat with I think that's perfect for your high school life because
Betul.
who the fuck wants to go to high school life just being pissed at people for sticking in a group?
Yeah, but getting their
The
book
fuck?
shat on and the fuck is that?
Do you think if he ever like looked for a clique that just shat on books, he'd find one?
No, he actually had a friend who did it with him to another guy. So he had a pair.
Ada
He had
pair
a, he had a sidekick, you know.
gang.
And the gang, got the
Book
gang,
shatters.
gang.
Yeah,
Gang.
someone's calling me.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna get back to you later. I'm gonna get back
days.
to you later. Okay, go on.
Okay, anyways, I was saying, in high school we had all those cliques. Obviously it's normal, every high school kind of do. And we had this thing, so like obviously because it's all girls, so much like I was friends with this group of people for a few years actually, for quite long, almost my whole high school life. And we're all like, oh, we're gonna go to prom together, we're gonna go this, we're gonna do that after high school, like blah blah blah, we're gonna go to the same uni, all that shit, like all that happy shit, you know, like prom together and like all that shit, we're gonna sit together. What's funny is that none of that happened. I didn't even stick friends with half of them. I didn't go to prom. So that's the funniest thing, like looking back at how we used to talk about things. It's like looking at it now, none of it ever happened. But yeah, talking about cliques, we did have in form 4, form 5, we, like I was saying, we did have like big cliques and all that, you know. But like I said, it was a normal thing, but it wasn't really macam, oh, orang lain tak boleh join. Tak, macam other people could talk with us, but it's like we're only in our own world. And in that
Sedar diri
big,
lah. Sedar
yeah,
diri lah.
in
Talk
that
to me.
big clique, there were smaller cliques, like separate cliques.
Kroni man.
Because bodoh sebab the clique that I was in, bukan I tak boleh move on, I just cerita for experience because it's funny to me. 15, mula-mula 18, 2 left, 1 was kicked out kononnya
Ui.
because of
Okay.
some
Oh,
reason.
aku suka
Yeah,
sih.
dude, it's such a mean girls kind of moment, just bigger, just Malay, very Malay. And then there were 15 of us, and in between those 15 people there were like smaller groups. Like it wasn't really much, it wasn't obvious, but you could tell there were like smaller groups, smaller cliques, you know, with each
Yeah.
other. And then like this clique got with this clique and that big clique, and it was just a whole massacre. It was crazy. I was very involved in it, and I don't know why, but again, we were all kids, we were all dumb. I was just as dumb. And when you go out of high school, we even like made promises. Oh, let's go to this uni together. Let's go to that uni. Tak ada, semua pecah. Because when you plan in high school, it's not really going to happen when you get out of high school. It's just probably just dreams. Probably just macam, you know, borak-borak kosong je. It's just like empty talk, I guess. I don't know.
Borak. Kaki cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yelah, biasalah. You say stuff in high school tak sedap hati member je. Oh my god, I akan sama belajar dengan you. Confirm. You masuk UTM, I masuk UTM. Jangan risau lah.
You ATM di hatiku. Tengok-tengok tak ada pun.
Ya tu, masuk UPSI kat. Haha.
I do have one friend though that goes to the same uni as me, but you know, but all of those stuff we talk about, prom, going to get dates together. I didn't even go to prom. I had my dress. I didn't even have a date. So all of that just out the window.
Couldn't be me. Yeah, that's from an all girls perspective lah. You know?
Yeah. Ada berebut laki kat tau. Tu paling best. Berebut laki. Like, that's just funny to me.
Berebut lelaki tu macam borak-borak waktu rehat.
Yeah, doh, macam memang.
Rehat.
Yeah, it happened during rehat.
Rehat, man. God damn, the only piece of time where you could actually do what you wanted.
That's
Habis
true.
kelas, why you guys like the makan gila babi during rehat ke like eat snacks and chill with the friends during rehat?
Both.
Both.
Depends on the
It
queue.
changed. I was both, but respectively, the first one was in asrama. The second one was when I was in co-ed.
Yeah though.
Cause I mean, like when you're in co-ed, you go home. Why would you fucking eat at school?
Yeah, true. Makan nasi pukul 10 pagi kan? What is wrong with you, bro? Conventional Malay.
Dekat my asrama, the food during rehat is better than dining hall food. So we would actually eat a lot more during rehat at like 10 o'clock. So we would skip lunch at 12 when we came back.
Wait,
So,
okay. Did you
and
guys
like-
have like designated tables for like your group of friends and then
Of
ada two
course.
tables?
Obviously,
Yeah.
of
Ada.
course,
Yeah.
ada punya.
Third row.
Like
That's
the
my
the,
table.
the nerdy kids sit in front, yang paling dekat dengan sekolah dengan
Yeah,
kelas. The cool kids duduk belakang.
Oh no, for me it's opposite. Like we had the place yang paling banyak sunlight, paling senang nak keluar. So we had dekat tepi, kalau dekat depan tu, those two tables memang our tables. And you know how you have like cocoa and you have like a break between like school and cocoa that like half an
Yeah,
hour I think. We have this one pondok where it's only our group during the form 4 and form 5. Only we can sit there. Like there was a time when these other group of people were sitting there and we were just looking at them tau. And then they left. And then we just sat there. Like, you don't even need to say anything. Just look at them. You can already, like, when they can already see that we're pissed, they just leave. And then we sit there. Tu memang macam tempat kita lah. To me, it's kind of like macam lawak, stupid, but also macam biasa lah kot kalau high school memang akan ada
Yeah.
macam tu
Yeah.
macam tempat.
It's like unwritten. It's like
Yeah, it's
unwritten.
unwritten.
Like you know lah, you know it. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How was the
You don't have to say.
menus at you guys' new place?
I was busting.
My
Respectfully,
school was Bastian.
Disrespectfully, bro. Fucking hell. Deep fried from hell. Tapi
fried from
Babi
hell.
lah, tak boleh lah. Dekat asrama, I think they had like outsiders that work for the canteen.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the school, it wasn't within the school budget lah. It wasn't within like what you paid because you had to pay separately when you went to Rehat.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had. I think if I had to rate it number wise, the dining hall was like 2.5
Out of 10?
out of 10, 2.5 out of 10,
Okay.
and Rehat was probably like 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's that much of a gap.
For me, first few years of high school, first 2 years, we had good food. We had sushi, we had onigiri. Which
Wow.
canteen has sushi and onigiri? We had chicken chop, basin, sedap gila nak mati.
Dia babi.
And then after that, we had
School
like
in a
outsiders.
mall.
Huh?
You go to school in a mall.
I don't know. We even had like a koperasi which sell like snacks macam Snickers ke apa ke.
Yeah.
Memang basin lah tapi duit memang licin lah.
Duit pun
kalau
basin
beli.
ke ah? Duit pun
Yeah.
basin.
Duit pun basin ke ah. But yeah, and then like we had outsiders come. This one auntie, Chinese auntie, and her husband were selling yong tau fu, chee chong fan, and wonton mee. Sedap nak mampus. But the canteen people got jealous, so they got fired for it. Like because apparently dia cakap sebab Cina tak halal. And they got kicked out. Apparently not really kicked out, but like something like kicked out lah. And we were so sad because it was so good. And then we had ayam gunting. Dude, I would fucking run a whole marathon from class to the canteen to beli ayam gunting tu. Sebab memang beratur panjang nak mati. Memang kalau between nak pergi kelas tu, from class to canteen tu memang marathon lah semua lari nak beli ayam gunting.
Ayam gunting
And-
RM2 tu.
yang tu.
Ah.
Sedap lah. Then in form 5, it got shitty as fuck. Like it was a new canteen canteen kind of like company. And then someone found anak lipas dalam telur mata dia tau. It was that bad.
Pernah ada.
Bodoh. I did not know how you could crack an egg at anak lipas. It's memang because you tak basuh, you tak betul-betul clean your cooking area. But that time we were all traumatized. Someone found like ulat in their butter chicken, and macam ulat tau. And sometimes like the chicken is like not cooked. And we were a high performance school. Kalau diorang set standards for us academically, why can't they give us good food?
Makan
you know?
pun mesti more sedap lah. Come on lah.
Yeah, exactly. I did not eat the canteen food for a while. I whether beli ke koperasi or I just bawa sendiri. I had like a small
Bekal.
lunch bag I would bring around. I would swing around and like I come with my mom's food. My mom's food is the best. Bekal actually saves a lot of money.
Shout out, mom.
Shut up,
Yeah,
mom.
shout out to my mom. Mama, I love you. Although you bising sikit lah masa film ni. Tapi tak apa. Your food's good. So yeah, that's my experience.
Okay lah, but for me, my school sama juga lah with Armalin punya school. During form 3 and form 4 ada chicken chop, ada nasi lemak, ada semua, ada burger Ramly pun ada. But then when it came to form 5, ambil kau.
When they change the stuff, everything goes wrong. Itu je.
When they change
Exactly.
the people, then the prices went up. Okay, try
Bodoh.
guessing how much is a nasi lemak and a small chicken.
RM4.50.
That's all lah.
RM3.
RM4.50.
Betul.
Itu sekolah aku tu.
It was RM3 before. A year after, it rises up to RM4.50. Then
Fucking
all the Form 5
inflation.
terus apa entah boycott, dia turun harga weh.
Yeah.
Kena boycott tu.
Turun 50 sen, RM4.
Remember
but,
when the air kotak naik 20 sen, everyone was
Yes.
mad, bro.
Yes.
20 cents.
20 cents.
Protes,
It's
right?
still money, so yeah, like fucking.
Everyone
like,
got
why
so
would you
angry.
Mentang-mentang lah kita budak sekolah ingat kita tak
No,
tahu
I
pun.
think most of it was because it was convenient. Dulu it was RM1, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was RM1, so you could easily pay RM1. Tapi now it's RM1.20, then you pay
Dia kena
RM2, you get
Yeah.
80 cents
Yeah.
balik. Oh my god,
Exactly.
everyone
Where
got
the fuck is
so
20 cents?
triggered. Everyone got so triggered. It was so funny.
I hate having to like pay cents, search for coins, or like dapat baki banyak gila macam coins, and it annoys me so much. It's so inconvenient. Why can't you just make it like RM1, RM2? Senang, simple, or at least
Yeah.
50 cents.
Okay, I have a funny story about this. I actually had a very petty encounter with one of the canteen operators because I think I was buying something. I forgot what it was, but it was RM1, and then I only had a RM5 bill. Lepas tu, I paid lah kan. But he gave me like the sourest fucking look. Lepas tu she was like looking into like the register kan, the box lah kan, that they usually keep the small change. Aku nampak tau ada duit RM1, tapi ada RM4 tepat-tepat lah. Ada RM4 tepat-tepat. So tapi he didn't want to fucking give it to me. He gave me the
Makes sense.
dirtiest fucking look and gave me coins.
Oh my god, the worst thing ever.
Fam,
The worst thing, that's criminal.
bodoh. I went back home.
Macam kerja dobi.
I went back home sounding like a beggar. I went back home
Feeling
bunyi macam
when-
orang minta sedekah.
Babi.
Lepas tu buka wallet ni, apa entah coins tu tumpah-tumpah.
Ya,
Nyampah
babi.
gila.
Sakit hati tu.
Rock all over the floor.
Ui, dulu kalau buka wallet jatuh sen kan, malu nak angkat. Sumpah tak angkat dah caw. Tak apa, apa kira-kira.
Tak apa lah. I got ego.
Aku ada ego lah sial.
Oh my god.
Gila babi lah. But yeah lah, it's high school man.
Yeah.
The best of times, the worst of times. You know, you get
The
your
best
book
of
shat
times is
on,
the worst.
you pay expensive food. But yeah, I mean, animator,
never move
we're
on
gonna
from
need a
that.
visual on the poop on the book. Someone needs to make an animation. But yeah, I mean,
And
everything's good.
it'll be from yours truly, so it's gonna be as accurate
It's
as
gonna be
ever.
as accurate as ever. I mean, high school, man. That's all I can say. You know what high school was like. High school is amazing. That's where you really
Ultimately-
An experience lah.
Ultimately, high school is a very molding moment.
Betul? It's who you
Okay.
discover who you want to be.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is character building at its finest.
Betul?
Fuck what they say in primary school. Fuck what they say in uni. Because in uni, you're supposed to be able to know who you are already.
Yeah,
Betul?
that's true.
So if
So
you're
high school
19
is the defining moment.
If you're 19 and your head is still stuck in high school, come on, you need help. Get
Fuck
the
outta
fuck on,
here.
I'd
Fuck
say
outta here.
Fuck out of
high
here.
school is where like it's a whole experience. Those whole 5 years tu lama kot. A whole experience where you get to look back on and you look back at your past and be like, okay, now I can be a better person now because I'm out of that situation. You get to, you know, like Irfan said, you get to build your character, and when the difference between high school and like uni is all different. High school dia macam memang trap dalam tu tau. It's like trap in a bubble. But when you're out there, when you pergi uni, when you kerja, it's a whole different thing. You meet a lot of different people, especially coming from a girl from a one-gendered school. And then I pergi uni, I have to work with other genders. It somehow felt different, but then I got used to it. So talking about like one-gendered schools, if you jenis orang yang senang adapt, go for it. I think it's fine. But kalau orang yang susah nak adapt, I think it's gonna be a challenge for you lah. When you keluar, you kerja, it's gonna be a bit harder for you to adapt if you memang susah nak adapt. Because I know girls from all girls school that don't know how to talk to guys. They see guys as like a whole macam alien. You know, when in reality sama je kita. You know, we're all both the same. You know,
Convert,
so yeah, if you senang adapt, I guess yeah, one gendered school. If you can't, then I don't think that's the best choice for you.
How do you do this?
What's that? Like this?
Aliens.
See,
How do you guys do
I-
that?
I just though.
Dang, 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 dang.
See, I can't do it.
Ultimately, high school is where you find yourself, find other people, you find companions, you find compatibility within yourself and others, and you are educated, be it through books, through speaking. You will learn so much from high school, and it's your decision to adapt it into what comes on to your life onwards. And I feel like if you have the capacity and the mental stability to pull through whatever happened to you in high school, because high school brings some fucked up shit to you, and if you are completely fine after that, then you're blessed, and I feel like you should definitely pursue what you're passionate about, because you have proved to yourself that you are mentally buff enough to get through whatever, because high school is honestly the worst. High school is honestly the worst.
It is.
There's nothing that beats high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts, bro.
Okay, guys, that's it for the third episode. It was fun hearing all of you guys sharing your thoughts. Okay, this is Pintu Belakang, and thank you for watching.
I still can't do it, man. But
Same. I can't do it.
Ah.